Do you have an MK6 that has this going on? Well, I'm making a video for you guys to watch and hopefully help you replace the headliner cloth on your MK6 GTI or Golf. So first step you're gonna have to do is find some material to work with. I already did that. I'll leave a link in the description where to find what I bought. And basically it's a material that looks and is also really close in color. So again, I'll leave a link in the description in case you guys want to go ahead and order what I got. But yeah, let's open this up and just make sure that it's enough material and that the color is correct. You guys see? Oh yeah, that looks identical in style, and we'll just see how close it is. When we compare it to an old piece. Okay, nice. So it's got a backing on it, as you can see. Not that thick. All right, so let me grab a little piece. And here's a piece of the old stuff that I took out. And guys, it is identical in color and pattern. Okay, now let's just see if it's wide enough. Yes, it is. In the description, they mentioned that it was enough material for the whole headliner. So let's see if it's long enough. And I'm just gonna do this. Oh yeah. Perfect. Okay, with just a bit more. So that's a plus. So I'm gonna put this in a safe spot and not out here because we're gonna make a mess. And you'll see what I mean. Before I start, I did want to show you guys that you will need to buy some of this stuff here. I got it at Home Depot. It's contact adhesive, their max strength version. And another good thing to have on hand for this project is some of these single edge razor blades. I like these because they're thin and very sharp. This is what you'll need. And of course you're going to need some tools, and I'll show you what tools I use as we go along here. Let me show you the first step I'm going to take inside the car. Okay, so step number one is removing the handles on the front half of the headliner. So you got one on each side. And the way to remove those is you got to pull this down, and there's some covers right there that you have to flap down. And the best way to do that is to use a razor knife. Get in that little groove right there and then pop those down. When you have them both open, it holds the handle for you so you can reach the two screws that are inside or behind this cover. And those screws are T20s. Kick that down, and you got two screws. Once you get the screws out, just be gentle, and that should come right off. So you see that the handle has a little groove that goes into a slot. So you want to go back in the same way. Just look out for that. Again, be gentle. This piece here has two clips that you'd have to pry with a panel tool. And what you do as you get behind it. And if you can't get behind it, you use a very thin screwdriver to help you get in that gap and help you unsnap this out of position. And both clips decided to break off, but I do have the fix for that. I decided to take care of this right now, and that's the clip I'm talking about that breaks off. They actually both broke, as I mentioned, and I already put this one back on. I'm going to show you guys what I use to put it back. Try to find these if you break them off. More than likely you're going to break them off. This is very old plastic and it's very thin, and I'm sorry if you can't see it. I mean, that's some thin stuff, but yeah, I used this 2P.10 and I got this on Amazon. Okay, and I'll be putting a link in the description on this item too. So this is the glue or adhesive, and this is the activator. So usually you have to wait a while for any, let's say, crazy glue to stick plastic together, right? Well, this sets instantly. So what you do is apply it to the broken area and stick them together, and while it's still wet, you spray a little bit of this where the glue is, and it sets instantly. Let's do one together. Try to give you guys some more light here. There you guys go. So again, here we go. Get some on that crack. Okay, you want to make sure that sets kind of where it used to be, as best as you can, right? And then a little bit of that. Okay. Just be careful. It doesn't take much. Okay, let that dry, and you should be good. Like this one dried instantly is good. I'm not going to try that just yet, just because I just got it on there. You guys saw it. We did it together. So let's go upstairs and keep working on that headliner. Let's take this out, and what you got to do is just pull straight down and out. The next step, removing this guy here. Okay, and that swings down. And again, the T20, you should have 2 screws. And then you should be able to just press on these 2 tabs up here and push down like so. Okay. Look out for the wire harnesses. What I'm going to do next is unplug this guy. Okay, so you guys saw this pop out of its spot. No big deal. It actually lets me show you how to take this apart. So this is what I'm going to do. Get underneath it, pry up, and that pops out of place. And then this goes back in a certain way. Remember, this was facing this piece right here, and these little prongs go back into their spots on the case here. And there you go. So we got 2 out of the 4. Next one I'm going to unclip is this guy here. And what you want to do is hold the chrome part of the connector, and try not to hold your needle noses on the outer part. That stays. You should be able to wiggle that loose and unconnect it. This other guy here, I'm kind of afraid of that guy. I'm just gonna unclip it here from the case or the shroud, And you got those 3 prongs that you got to move back a little bit. Just be gentle, and they should come right off. So I'm gonna just leave it just like that. So then you got to remove 1, 2, 3, and 4 more screws again. And what you want to do next is you got these 2 tabs holding it in place. And what you want to do is just get a little flathead and then push to your right and left. What you want to do is just push them away from this plastic piece right there, like so, to both sides. You should be able to take that out. Next step is I'm going to take those off, or push them off to the side. To do that, you got to remove that cover. Here's some bad news. You take that cover off, it's probably going to break. But what you want to do is just get underneath it and then flip it up like so. But as I mentioned, this stuff is brittle and it's old. So more than likely you're going to have to find these at the dealer and get replacements, because these will more than likely break. These are known to break. Hopefully you guys can see. Okay. Got lucky. All right, so you saw how it went. I went down a little bit and then to my left. And as you can see on the opposite side, those are the clips that hold it into those corresponding spots. So when you put it back in, try to line that up as best as you can. But this is as far as I'm going to go with this. This should give me plenty of room to drop the headliner. So yeah, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. As you can see, I took the cover off that side. Like I said, only bad thing about those is that these little covers always break. Next step is having these loose and ready to go. All right, so to do that, there's 2 screws, 1 on each side. There's a cover, there's a little spot to stick something in there. Let's pop it open like so. T20. There's this small cover. You're gonna have to get in there with some kind of knife, get in between the slot. You should be able to pry that apart. And there's a T20 there. One thing that I might have not explained very much is this mirror. There's a harness connector somewhere up there, and you can't get to it until you're ready to take this headliner out. So you kind of have to leave it dangling, or you have to put it kind of back in a spot without the screw, and it should stay there until you're ready to pull this headliner down. And that's just an option, just in case you don't like to have the visor hanging by a wire. I got that one all loose and ready to go. Next step is removing this cover here, and again, you got to take that screw cover, and you're gonna need to break that to get it out. So again, get behind it. Try not to drop it, because if you do, it's going to be fun retrieving that one. And I'm going to go in there with my needle noses. Got the head. There we go. Open both doors. You're going to want to get behind this rubber. Pull this all the way up. Same thing on this side, get behind the rubber. Straight back. And you should be able to walk this out. Yeah, just like that. Now this bottom is hooked, just like that. Bring it down, and you're good to go. Okay, so the video froze for a second there, but basically what you want to do is tuck this right down there, just so it's out of the way. So my next step is going to be removing the handles from the back. I already did one just to make things go a little quicker, and basically it's the same thing as the front ones, so we'll do one together. Okay, so here we go. Handle, it's the same thing. It's got a cover over the screw. You're gonna see a little square cutout. And there's your screw, and there's your screw, and those little covers should hold that handle open for you. And then just take the screw out. Again, be gentle. So next, we're going to be removing this piece here. Again, the cover that likes to break needs to come off. Okay, so that kind of didn't break. Nice. And again, be careful. So I popped the trunk and I got to remove. All right, so I popped the hatch. Got to remove this guy. So what you want to do is get in front of it. It should pull straight down. And as you can see, one stayed. It's this guy right here. And put it back in place. All right, so we got both sides off. We should be able to start walking this down. Now you're gonna have a harness here. Look at that. Yeah. So I didn't film taking this down. I started to see that the back half of this kind of folded down, and I kind of like freaked out and went by the door, driver's side door, and noticed that it was creasing it really bad. I didn't film me dropping this down, but I'll explain the process as best as I can, okay? But I do want to give you guys a little helpful hint that I oversaw. And this little hint will help you big time, because I had to order something. But yeah, let me show you what happened, or let me try to explain this. As you guys saw, I took the two sides down. The back half of this started coming down. I walked over. I saw that it was creasing. And, you know, I just wanted to hurry up. Yeah, get it out of there, right? That's never a good idea. Don't hurry up ever. So, jumped in. Took the mirrors out of their position. And unclipped the wire harness. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I started to unclip the head liner from around the sunroof, and so it's got these clips, these guys right here, and so you get behind the headliner, and then you just start kind of popping them as you go. You go about here, same thing, use a tool. Use your fingers, pop it around the whole thing. Some stayed, I gotta take those off. But yeah, gotta take them off, put them on the headliner. And it's got two pins on the headliner, two plastic, big looking clip pins that go into those corresponding holes. And yeah, I pulled on it, and one thing you don't notice until you do the same mistake I did. One thing you don't notice is this guy. This wire harness that feeds the rest of the lights, and it's hidden behind this piece of plastic here. So this used to be attached right there. And again, we took the wire harness off of that piece that was right here, and then this was still plugged in, so it wasn't dangling, and it was tucked away. I felt a little bit of resistance, and it was just these pins I just mentioned. And yeah, I kept pulling, and this is very thin plastic, so it didn't take much to rip that off. And let me tell you, this thing isn't cheap. So I got it from the dealer. I called the dealer. So the first dealer I called was an incorrect dealer, but I didn't learn that till I was done talking to him. But he kind of helped me out, and you can tell he didn't want to help me very much. He kind of wanted me to just give him a part number. But long story short, he was like, I know you gave me the VIN, but I need you to look for a part number on that wire harness. Well, I looked at the wire harness, no part number, right? But almighty Google helped out. So I started Google translating all the stickers and found the part number that I need. And it is right here. So I use Google Translate, and that's the cable base, and this is the part number 160971100F. Okay, I typed that into Google, and noticed that ECS has it for sale. It is cheaper there, but I wanted it now because this is my daughter's car, and she's using my hoopty at the moment. So yeah, I called the dealer, or called the correct dealer, and told them my story again, gave them that part number, and they're like, "What's it for?" That part number is just a bunch of clips. So I'm guessing it was just these ends. Well, when I looked it up on ECS Tuning, it gave me an OE part number. I gave them that OE part number. I think it was like one letter off. And from there, they were able to find the harness and told me that it's going to be $217 shipped. So yeah, this is a nice bit of information for you. Don't forget about this plug, and I'll show you where it goes in a second. So this went something like that, and so this is connected right there, just like that. You don't really see it, or it wasn't in my mind to look, because we took this apart already, right? All this was already disconnected, and you don't think that that's going to be a part of the rest of the wire harness, or at least I didn't. Maybe those guys that have done this before got lucky and maybe thought of that, but I didn't. So yeah, nice bit of information for you guys. Don't forget this guy. And that just comes off. It's just you just squeeze the ends, both ends or the sides, and you just pull it right out. So avoid buying a $200 wire harness like I did. Look out for that. I would have never done that, but there is no video explaining in detail how to do this. I am the only one, I believe, that's going to be showing this much detail into doing this. So if you guys appreciate all this information in this video to help you do yours, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, support me, help me help you. So like I said, some of these clips stayed behind. I'm going to take those off. Those are going to be a little bit of fun, but I should be able to take them off. I'll show you guys how to do one, just so you guys know. But I pulled out the better camera just to give you guys a better picture for a little bit, because I'm using the GoPro as I go. I'll be back, and you guys will see me remove one of these clips, and we'll keep going. Oh, and that wire harness, it'll be here in 2 days, because it's later in the day. So it would have been here next day, but it's later in the day. So, all right, I'll be back. These are the clips that stayed behind. The way I take them off is I go right behind it, up against the clip, and then pry. Pops right off. I was going to put these on the headliner. That's metal. What I'm going to do is just take them off, because it looks like I'm going to have to roll the material underneath them or next to them, and if I have to do that, that's going to be a pain with that there. And the way I took them off, get underneath it, just like that. And you might notice that some of these clips that stayed behind or that you took off could use a squeeze to just make them bite a little harder and maybe not have it be loose. And you could just what you could do to make it a little tighter is just squeeze the tab or the little piece in the center there, like so, like that, and like that. There's a little ear in the middle of it. Just make sure that it's pitching forward. That should bite just a tad bit better. Nice and tight. I'm going to squeeze the rest of these, and then I'm going to put these aside and then start working on the headliner. So I'm going to start taking off what I believe needs to come off so I can give it the best look. So I believe these got to come off. This is the housing for the light, and I don't think it matters which way you put it back in. This is very easy to take off. I'm sure you can figure it out on your own, but in case you can't, you pry it a little bit, kind of get it going. And I'm just twisting the screwdriver so I can get behind it and slowly lift it up. Okay, as you see, and just be gentle, nice and slow, don't overdo it. And if it looks like it needs a little more to come out smooth, go for it. And that's the piece right there. Okay, save those. So anything else that needs to come off is going to be this light. I'm going to flip this around and work on that. So this is the light, and what you want to do is get behind it, all right? And you're looking for this guy right in front. You push forward, and it pushes this clip or catch in, so you can pop that corner out, and then you pop that corner out, and then what you want to do is tilt up and then back. Okay, then you just got to disconnect the light, squeeze both ends, and you're good to go. I don't believe I need to take that off. I'm gonna leave that as is. All right, my next step is going to be removing the old material off of it. And I'm sure you guys notice that this cloth goes to the edge of the headliner, and the same applies for the holes for the visor and the lights. That same applies for the light and the holes for all the handles. And one more thing, on the back here it does fold over. So the next step is taking off all this old material, this foam that didn't come off with the cloth. And so as you can see, it's going to be a messy one. I'm going to do it with this first, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to do this off camera because you don't need to see me do that. That's going to take a bit. So I used this first, went around the whole thing. And you want to make sure that you really try to take off any of that sponge material. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure that you're really trying to take that off so that the headliner really bites something. So this is just a plastic bristle brush, and if you have this option, go for it. So this is where I'm at. I used that white brush on the drill, cleaned it off. Looks a lot better. That's as best as I'm gonna get it. At least I think that's the best I can do. But so I had a crack going on right here. I used the good old trusty 2P10 and spread that on there, and then put the activator on. That stuff, I got the thicker version of it, so it's like a gel almost. And they do sell a gel, but yeah, I put some on there, sprayed it, and now it's not going to tear any further. I did it to both sides. This one didn't have a tear, it just had like a little, I guess you can call it a tear, right at the beginning part of it. And took care of that. And that one had a crease, so took care of that. But that's as far as I want to go tonight, or today. Tomorrow I plan to apply that material, that cloth material, with the backing on there. Finish at least this, or that part of it. I'm back at this. And as you can see, I did touch it up a little bit. I applied some tape in areas I didn't want any of that spray contact adhesive to get into. So the center, there's two plastic like tabs that hold the visor in place, and then where the light goes. And I think I talked about these two spots where I had like a small little crease there, and I actually tore this side here from it like bending on the driver's side, like I mentioned. And I used, again, the old trusty 2P10 thick formula. Spread some on the crack, and then sprayed it with the activator. And I did it to both the front and the back, and I don't have to worry about that running further. That's back to normal, and yeah, I'm happy how this turned out. One thing I did want to mention also that I didn't that I didn't show yesterday, only because I forgot, around the sunroof. So this is all metal, right? And when you're unpopping it from the car, those little clips are kind of tough. So you get in there with your hand, and you're helping from that side of the headliner. And sometimes you'll bend this. So don't worry, you can bend that right back. I used electrical pliers to wherever I thought. You can see where I tugged on it a little bit. So some of these, nice wide, flat plier. Just went back, straightened it out. And yeah, she looks good. She looks good. And I also straightened out some of these little, I would say ears, where the clip holds onto. And yeah, we're ready for the next step. What I'm gonna do next is put it on the table. You're gonna see that I applied a nice layer of tape across the whole table. And that's only because when I spray that adhesive on the headliner, it's gonna get on the table. And when I'm done with the material on the headliner, I don't wanna have a bunch of, adhesive on the table. I want it to be clean so I can keep working on that headliner, because I'm going to have to have it sit with the new cloth on the table. I'm all set up. I got the material on the headliner already, and I put some old towels on the material that's still facing up, just so I don't get any kind of overspray. But yeah, I'm gonna start to spray this. I've never done this before, so I'm a bit nervous, but as long as I take my time, or as long as anybody takes their time, you should be okay. I'm gonna time lapse what's coming, pretty much the whole install of the material onto the headliner. But I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You just spray some adhesive on the headliner and then some on the material. Let it somewhat dry up and then stick it on there. So what you'll see next is a time lapse. All right, wish me luck. So this is what I've got done so far. And it turned out okay. This is my, like I said, my first attempt at doing something like this. And I was pretty nervous the whole time. But if I was to give any bit of advice, take your time. Don't rush through this. That adhesive dries so fast. You gotta work fast. And so it's kind of like it's kind of hard to take your time and do things right. But I'm happy with this result. I'm still not done. As you see, I still gotta cut the excess. I actually gotta glue the sides down and the front, as you can see here. But I'm gonna do the sides first, the two sides, and then the front, and then I'm gonna cut the excess off. So again, you're gonna go into a time lapse, and then I'll work on the sunroof area. All right, guys. And look at that. It looks good. as you can see, I'm back at this again. So I got the wire harness installed, and I'm happy on how I figured this out. At first I thought maybe just slap it in, but I guess I'd try to be more cautious, not have another mistake, and not have this thing get caught somewhere and rip. So I marked a couple of spots. Here, for example, I marked this spot. And now that lines up, right? And I made this spot, or this marking, from the old harness, and that's different. So this harness is a little different, and it comes with this extra lead. And so I got kind of worried. I'm like, oh, I hope the plugs are the same, and they are. I hope it has the correct plugs for each accessory, and it does. The only difference is this guy, the extra lead, and you get an extra lead that I'm guessing goes to that one wire and this connector. So the original one only had one, which this has two. But I already checked the pin inside the car, or the female that accepts this male, and it's only pinned on a top half. So the other side doesn't even receive any kind of power. So then I thought, you know what, let me just go plug the harness in, bring in the accessories in the car, and see if it all works. And it does. I just did my best to center it up front. And like I said, this is kind of a weird setup here, at least for me, at least I think. But you have to crease the wire harness a certain way for it to lay correctly. So you had a crease there, a crease here, crease here, another one there, and then there's another one underneath this tape area. And I am going to tape this a little more, just so nothing catches like that or like that. But I just left it like that just to show you some of the markings that I made to help me get the harness where it used to be and not just throw it in, and maybe help you look out for things so you don't have an issue and do a better job than I do. What I also did was put these clips in that go around the sunroof. They're really easy to put on. I left one that I didn't install just so we could do it together. And what you want to do is have this leg towards the inside, and then go back and forth. Some are easier than others, of course. And you just want to make sure that it's seated the whole way. And it's still got to go down a little more. You want to make sure it's centered. And there we go. Just like that. You want to make sure that little tab is inside that hole. Alright, so this is all pretty much ready to go in. I'm just going to tape the harness a little more. Spots where I think they might catch something. I'm going to cut this off, I know, but since there's no juice going to it, I don't see any issue cutting that off and then just taping over it. I got this taped up a little better, as you can see there. Tape this all up. I did cut that extra lead. I think I'll be fine. Like I said, I already tested the harness to see if the accessories worked, and they all did. I don't see why having the extra lead cut would do anything. But this is all ready to go back in. I'm not going to record that. It takes so much patience, and I am going to have somebody help me, so I'm not going to be able to talk to you guys much about it, and I want to get it done as best as I can in having something in my hands is only going to make it that much harder. And I do have a headband I can use, but since this is a headliner, it's only going to get in the way of me seeing anything. But I'm glad I got this far, and wish me luck. And there it is, guys. As you can see, the lights work, and I'm trying to show you all of the headliner at once. It's just hard, but I'm happy. Again, I'm not saying it's perfect in any way, but for someone that hasn't done it at all, I think it came out pretty good. As you can see. As far as the little covers for the screws, right there, the screw cover, you're gonna have to find those at the dealer. They sell them online, but I like to buy things at the dealer for whatever reason. Peace of mind. I can give them a part number and they'll find it for me and give me the exact part that I want. On the back of that cover, you will see a part number. It's very small, so you might have to take a picture with your phone, blow it up, and then read it that way. But yeah, it went in, it went good, it went smooth. I couldn't ask for no better, really. You could always improve on what I did as far as like the headliner install, the material. You could always just prep it for an upholstery shop like I did, as far as like taking that old sponge material off the headliner and then giving them the headliner and material and have them professionally install it. But I mean, I think I did pretty good for being my first time doing this. So and as far as the visor wire harness, when you start bringing that down, you'll see the clip or the plug. It's kind of hard to tell you what to do on that. You're gonna have to just figure that one on your own. I would say you have 99% of this fix on video, so you should be able to follow this pretty closely and get this done. Is it hard? Not really. Do I believe everybody can do it? I believe so. Doesn't take that many tools. It just takes a lot of patience. If you can stay cool, take your time doing things, you'll get a good result. And again, you can always improve on the material as far as installing it onto the headliner, but I'm okay with this. Cutting that one extra lead on the harness did nothing. Everything works just like it did. Okay, another bit of information or advice I can give you is when you go to put or snap those clips around that sunroof in, before you get this headliner in place, I had placed a piece of tape wherever that clip was. Okay, so I did that around the whole sunroof area. That way I can see where to hit where that clip was. That way I'm not rebounding, just wasting my time hitting an area that's not going to clip. So that's my best advice there. But yeah, the rest of it falls right into place, guys. You guys just reverse the steps that you saw. So those two pieces on the back are the first two pieces that went back in, and I just kept working forward. And yeah, I'm happy with the result. Yeah, guys, so if you're deciding you should tackle something like this, I say go for it. I showed you guys the material I bought, and I'll be putting a link in the description where to find it. So that'll be some of the work knocked out right away. And I showed you guys where all the screws and clips are. You can follow the steps that I took to apply that material, or like I said, you can take it to a professional, have them install it, and you just reinstall the headliner back in its spot. But you got it. If you're like me, you don't mind getting your hands dirty and trying it for yourself, because that just gives you more skill for later in the future. And again, I'm not saying it's perfect in any way, but it's one big improvement to what it was before. So guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and support me. Support the channel, subscribe. And there is a new feature on YouTube where you can hype the video. Hype the video. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I know it's kind of a long one, but I'm sure if you're attempting to do this, you want to see as much as possible. And I hope this video really does help you with the confidence and knowing what's to come for you. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.